This bike is not flash, so listen, oh, front wheels in the air. Holy mackerel! Here it is, the 2024 Kawasaki Z900. It's got ABS. It's beautiful. Stay with me. You don't want to miss it. First thing you'll notice is this beautiful TFT display. This is the 2024 Z900. This bike is beautiful. This beautiful red. You'll notice also that you got your gear indicator, your mile per hour, your mile per gallon. You can change all that. Let's get going. We're going to start out in road mode. It's got 3 modes that are pre-programmed: rain, road, and sport. And then it's got 4 rider modes you can select. Let's get going here. Man, huge thank you to Plano Kawasaki that allows me to do these first rides. The first thing that you'll notice is this bike is it feels very light. This bike compared to an MT-10 sits about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch lower. I'm a 30-inch inseam. Let me stop here. Well, I'll tell you where my feet are. Both feet, or more than half of each foot, is on the ground. That'd be a nice, if you were comparing this to an MT-10, if you were a little bit shorter, you might not want to choose the MT-10. But this is a better value. Let me explain some things to you, the differences between the MT-10 and the Z900. First of all, this has a LED headlight, which the MT-10 has also. This has more horsepower. It's about 125 to 128 horsepower, like 95 Newton meters of torque. So it makes about it really makes about 8 to 10 more horsepower and about 10 more pounds of torque. That's before you flash it. Man, those brakes are nice. Let's take a ride here. This bike is man, this thing handles good. This reminds me of the Suzuki GSX 1000 S that I rode. The tip in on it, it just feels, this is about a 420 pound bike, but the tip in on it feels, this bike is really maneuverable. I mean, it feels like it's probably a 500 the way you maneuver it. The difference is being this bike is about $9,800. The MT-10 I think is $10,500. Really, there's only 2 differences on an MT-09 in this. And the MT-09 is going to have a 6-axis IMU, which I'll tell you about that. It's lean sensitive. It will adjust your ABS and your wheelie control. But for $700, I've got a bike that's got an IMU, and unless you're a highly skilled track rider, the IMU is you're not really going to notice anything. I mean, you leave a comment in the comment section and tell me if I'm crazy. I've been riding since I was 6 years old. I've got over 40 years worth of riding experience, and I couldn't really tell you what the difference is with the IMU and without. I mean, I'm riding a bike without IMU. Now, maybe if I was on a track doing 140 mile an hour in a corner, I would notice it. But riding this bike, you really, I don't see how unless you're a very highly skilled track rider, you're not going to notice it. We're in rain mode. Let's go up to sport. You can see it there. Oh yeah, you can tell. The only other difference between this and an MT-10 is the quick shifter, and the MT-10, the 2024 MT-10, the quick shifter is really not, it's a quick shifter, but it only does quick shift up. They've got several different ways you can configure it, but if you quick shift up, you have to decel on the slowing down to shift down with it. So, and you leave a comment if I'm wrong, but I investigate these bikes a little bit. This bike is not flash, so listen. Oh yeah, front wheels in the air. Holy mackerel! This bike wants to go, man. And that's on sport mode. I mean, plenty of torque. This is about a 950cc bike, if I'm not mistaken. It's about 11.5 to 11.8 compression ratio. It's got 3 more liters worth of gas than an MT-10. And like I say, it's $700-800 cheaper than an MT-10. So the $700, if you wanted to add a quick shifter up and down, you could surely do it aftermarket, or you can rev match like I'm doing. I mean, and you'll get used to that. But anybody that's rode bikes for a while will know what I'm talking about as far as the rev matching. This bike sits about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch lower than a, I keep saying NT10, Mt-09, which is, anybody will tell you who wants to sit higher on a bike than what you need to. You actually sit down in this bike, which is real nice. The seat is super comfortable. My feet are directly below my hips, and my knees are not flat with my hips. My knees are slanted down a little bit. Yes, you can feel some air, but I'm going to get off this bike up here and show you the differences between an MT-09 and this. This does have bigger brakes. It's got 300 millimeter front brake rotors. This thing is purring, man. It is so smooth. Actually, the MT-09, it says it's got a 270-degree fire like a crossplane, but that is not true. It's more like a, I want to say Norton, but not a Norton, a Triumph. It's actually just like, the MT-09 is a 3-cylinder, and it's basically a Triumph motor. I mean, you leave a comment and tell me if I'm wrong, but you do your research and you'll find out that what I'm telling you is true. This thing's going to make more torque, which I already told you that. It's going to make more horsepower. The MT-09 is about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch longer, so it's going to make it a little bit harder to maneuver in city traffic. But man, what a bike. Adjustable levers here. I'm trying to make sure I got y'all in the viewfinder where you can see this. These levers are adjustable, and this clutch is not hydraulic, but it is so easy to pull. I mean, one finger. This is a very popular bike right here, and I'm going to tell you what's going on up here. Oh, they're getting on the highway. Man, you can feel that torque, but I'm going to get off up here and show you about it. Adjustable front and rear suspension. It does have a wicked LED light. They did change the light this year, and it looks, to me, it looks like a H2, like the H2 naked version that's supercharged. It may be the same light. Kawasaki has some super financing right now on short terms, like 36 months, 48 months. I think you can get a rate 2 or 3% if you've got good credit. Y'all hear this? Man, this bike is just purring. It's got a 10,500 rev limit on it. You could flash this bike and pull probably another 8 to 10 horsepower out of it. Maybe less than that, 7 to 9 horsepower, something like that. But look at this screen. It's beautiful. Also too, this bike's got a 4-gallon gas tank on it. This bike is very comfortable and very light. Flash to pass up here. You can see in the back of that car. We'll get going here in just a second. If we could ever get these cars out of the way. High beam switch there, horn there. Four-way indicators right there. This bike on the top side of things, it'll run, I believe, 155 mile an hour. It will outrun an Mt-09. It's about 10 mile an hour faster on the big end, and that's before you even flash it. I mean, you could take the top speed limit off, but 155 is moving. I mean, that's fast enough for me, and I ride a 1000 sport naked, but you can look in some of my other videos. This is a super value for $9,600–$9,700. Man, this thing will go. It's a Z900 and it don't disappoint. I'm gonna pull over up here and walk you through some of the stuff. This bike is beautiful. Man, what an awesome bike. It says we're getting 40 miles a gallon. This bike will wheelie first, second, and third. Even though you don't need to be doing that. That is kind of fun if you're out by yourself and want to play around. Let's get off of it and show you. Got a neutral indicator. Got your tripometer, your water temperature, your time, your range. Make sure we got all this in the viewfinder. Total time ridden, battery status. Okay, let's jump off here. Here it is, the 2024 Kawasaki Z900. This bike's got ABS, which you will really appreciate ABS if you've never had it. Look at this beautiful red. The frame, the wheels, those wheels. I look at stuff like that, those painted wheels. You could degrease them wheels at a car wash and come clean. I mean, easy. Adjustable forks on the front, 41 millimeter. I believe they're Showa forks. Adjustable rear suspension, passenger pegs, 300 millimeter front rotors. Look at those rotors. Man, they look good. This is an ABS unit. But look at that bike, man. It's got a LED light in the back. They actually put I'll turn it on. They put a tail tidy on it, so that's a little bit more. The tires are 180, 55, 17, and those are Dunlop. Road Sport 2s, real aggressive tire. Dunlop Sport Max on the front, 120, 70, 17. But look at that bike. This bike is beautiful. Let me turn those blinkers off. Somebody's gonna think I'm broke down. Anyways, look at this thing, man. Woo-hoo. 2024 Z900 ABS 10199. This does have a tail tidy kit already on it, or you could add your own. They got plenty of these in stock at Plano, Kawasaki, Suzuki, Aprilia. Give them a call. If you're liking this content, make sure you like it. Share it with somebody. Make sure you're subscribed. I appreciate y'all watching, riding with me this year. I'll have a new video up at least once a week. I'm going to start trying to do 2 a week. I appreciate y'all riding with me. Man, thanks a million. Let's take this back to the shop. Helmet holder over here. How can you go wrong?
Like, ride with me if you ride with me. You can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like. 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, coming down like precipitation. I ain't